Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Especially great to have those of you from Search Insights Academy joining us again.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone.
You might remember we talked about the CCTLD sunset not long ago. Well, today we're tackling another really big shift, generative AI, and what it means for search, for how we actually get found online. It's a question I know we've been asking, and probably you too.
Absolutely. It's a rapid transformation, isn't it? How people find information. And yeah, it brings up so many critical questions, especially like you said, for folks focused on search visibility, like you at Search Insights Academy.
Right.
So our goal today really is to kind of dig deep into this relationship between, let's call it traditional SEO and this newer thing, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO.
GEO. Okay.
Yeah, we want to give you some, practical insights how to maintain, maybe even enhance visibility in, well, both worlds. And we're leaning on some top industry experts for this.
It really does feel like a fundamental change, though, doesn't it?
Uh,
We're sort of moving away from that list we all know, the blue links.
The classic SRP.
Exactly.
Yeah,
To a world where the AI just gives you the answer
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
And that has, I mean, massive implications for content strategy, how we need to think about things.
Huge.
Okay, so let's maybe start unpacking some key shifts. One thing that keeps coming up is this idea of the zero-click search.
Ah, yes, the zero-click phenomenon. And what's really striking is just how big it's become.
How big are we talking?
Well, Rand Fishkin's research over at SparkToro suggests nearly 60%. 60.
Wow, 60% of searches end right there, no click.
That's what the data suggests. People are getting what they need directly from the results page. It's a critical change we just have to understand.
It really forces a rethink then. If people aren't clicking, our focus has to shift. We need to be visible inside those AI answers, right?
Precisely, which connects to Lily Ray's work as well. She's looked specifically at how Google's AI overviews are hitting click-through rates.
And what's she finding? Fewer clicks.
Yeah, her findings show pretty clearly that AI overviews do lead to fewer organic clicks. Maybe there was some hope initially that AI would just guide users better, but it seems the reality is often these summaries are good enough. They satisfy the query, so the user just doesn't feel the need to click further.
So if your site ends up below the AI summary, well, that's a tough spot for traffic.
It really is. Getting included in the AI output becomes, well, pretty essential, crucial even.
Okay, so fewer clicks, more focus needed on getting into the AI answers. This really brings us to needing to define our terms, doesn't it? Like, what is SEO now in 2025 versus this GEO thing?
That's the core question. So traditional SEO, even now, it's still about the fundamentals, right? Crawlability, indexability, making sure your content is relevant, building authority, backlinks still play a role.
The classics.
The classics. But GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, that's specifically about optimizing for the AI models themselves, the LLMs behind ChatGPT, Gemini, Bing Chat, all those.
Right. And Rand Fishkin had that interesting point about the currency changing.
Exactly. He called it the currency. For GEO, it's less about backlinks, more about mentions and citations within the authoritative datasets these AI models train on.
Which points towards
What?
digital PR brand building.
Yeah, a big shift towards digital PR, brand positioning, getting your name and your data mentioned in the right places.
So does that mean everything we learned about SEO is like out the window?
No, not at all. That's the reassuring part. There are foundational SEO principles that are still absolutely critical, maybe even more so.
Okay, good. Like what? What still really matters?
Well, think about EET: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness.
EEAT. Yeah, Lily Ray talks about that a lot.
She does, and her point is prioritizing EET is vital. Publishing content that shows real human expertise, actual experience. That's how you differentiate.
Especially when AI can generate so much content now, right? That human proof becomes key.
Precisely. It's a differentiator. It signals quality, trustworthiness, both to old-school search algorithms and the new AI models. They need to know if the source is credible.
And what about the technical side? Aleta Solis always emphasizes that.
And she's spot on. We can't forget technical SEO. Crawlability, indexability, site speed, and especially structured data, all still hugely important.
Why structured data specifically? How does that help with AI?
Well, Aleta points out that structured data basically spells things out for search engines, tells them clearly what's on the page.
Like labeling the ingredients.
Kind of, yeah. It helps AI systems understand and interpret your content much better. gives context, makes it easier for them to cite you accurately. Plus, the Chrome team's research always shows site speed and user experience matter across the board for quality.
Okay, so fundamentals like EEAT and technical SEO are still table stakes. Got it. Now let's dive deeper into GEO itself. How do we actually optimize for these AI models? Aleda had some tips on formatting, didn't she?
Yes, and this is where it gets really practical. Clear, structured content is key for AI understanding. Think about things like descriptive headers,
Okay.
structured snippets, bullet points, using tables for data, bold text for key terms, short, clear paragraphs, too. Makes it digestible for humans and AI.
Makes sense. Easy to scan, easy to pull out facts. And Rand Fishkin's point about original data, creating things to be cited.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's about creating unique, citable information, original research, maybe proprietary stats, unique methods.
Stuff AI can't just make up.
Exactly. And when other authoritative sites reference your original work, it creates this sort of virtuous cycle.
Oh, okay.
Your brand gets visibility in the training data, making you more likely to be surfaced in AI answers later. Tools like HAO, help a reporter out, can be useful here. Connecting with journalists looking for data.
Interesting. So creating unique value is becoming even more important. And what about voice and images? AI isn't just text anymore.
Right. It's moving fast, multimodal. So we need to think about optimizing for conversational language, like for voice search, building out FAQ sections.
Those spoken questions.
And detailed alt text for images, so systems like Google's Gemini Vision can see them, transcripts for audio and video, even keyword-rich file names for media. Google's own research shows how crucial this cross-format optimization is becoming.
Okay, so there are overlaps, but definitely distinct things to think about for SEO versus GEO. Let's try and compare them directly. User intent seems different based on what Aleda Solis observed.
Big difference. Traditional SEO often targets shorter, keyword-focused queries, best running shoes.
Right.
But with AI, prompts are often longer, more conversational, like what are the best running shoes for a beginner with flat feet training for a 5K?
Much more specific, layered almost.
Exactly. Layered. Seeking comprehensive answers. Aleda found they can be like 2 or 3 times longer than typical search queries.
Which makes sense if you're having a conversation with the AI. Okay, intent is different. What about the ranking factors? How does content get chosen?
Also different. Traditional SEO leans heavily on, backlinks, keywords in the content, user engagement, mobile friendliness, speed.
The usual suspects.
Yeah. GEO seems to weigh things differently. It looks more at the quality of specific passages of text, clarity, factual accuracy, how often you're mentioned in trusted sources, verification across multiple sources.
Less about the link count, more about the mention quality and consistency. Back to Rand's point.
Pretty much. That shift from backlinks to authoritative citations seems key for AI.
And if the factors are changing, I guess the metrics we track need to change too.
Absolutely. Your standard SEO metrics, clicks, rankings, they still matter. But for GEO, we need new ones, like share of answer.
Share of answer, meaning how often you show up in the AI response.
Exactly. Also, citation frequency, how often are you cited? Brand sentiment within AI content, is it positive? Your presence in knowledge graphs?
So Search Console gives us SEO data, but we need new tools for this GEO stuff.
Yeah, Search Console is still vital for SEO, but new tools are emerging for GEO tracking. It's still early days for some of this, though.
Okay, this is painting a clearer picture. Let's get really actionable now. For, say, the team at Search Insights Academy listening, what are the first steps for building a GEO-friendly content strategy?
Good question. Lily Ray suggests focusing on finding and targeting unanswered queries.
Gaps in the existing information landscape.
Precisely. Go beyond basic keyword tools. Look for those complex questions people are asking that don't have great answers yet. The goal isn't tons of content, it's fewer, but really high-quality, expert-driven pages tackling those gaps.
Find the niche questions, and maybe use tools like Also Asked or Answer the Public.
Yeah, those can be great for uncovering those deeper, more specific questions.
You mentioned formatting earlier. There was that specific pattern: claim, stat, citation.
Yes, that structure is gold for AI interpretation. Make a clear claim, back it up immediately with a verifiable statistic or fact, then clearly cite the source.
Simple, direct, verifiable.
Exactly. Claim, stat, citation. Super easy for AI to digest and trust. Like that example about remote work productivity linked to the Stanford study, perfect illustration.
Okay. And what about the off-page stuff? Digital PR. Sounds like that gets a boost in importance.
Huge boost. Digital PR helps build your presence on those authoritative platforms AI already trusts. Guest posting on reputable sites, expert interviews, creating data-rich infographics, building relationships with journalists.
It's all about getting those quality mentions and citations elsewhere.
That's the core of it, building that web of trust and authority signals for the AI.
And technically, on our own sites, schema markup seems like a must-do.
Definitely. Using the right schema, FAQ, how-to, QA page, product, article with attribution helps AI understand the context of your content much better. Google keeps saying how much it helps them understand pages.
So label everything clearly for the robots. Makes sense. And just basic accessibility for AI crawlers.
Can't forget the basics. Simple HTML for crucial content. Don't accidentally block AI crawlers and robots.txt. Use clean semantic structure. Make sure content is visible without needing clicks or interactions. It's good for SEO, and it's good for GEO.
Right. And images, videos, don't neglect those either.
Nope. Descriptive file names, comprehensive alt text, captions, full transcripts. As AI gets better at understanding multimedia, optimizing it becomes crucial.
Okay, so we start implementing these things. How do we track if it's working? What metrics should Search Insights Academy be focusing on now?
Well, alongside your SEO KPIs, start tracking those GEO metrics we talked about, share of answer, citation frequency, sentiment analysis, and AI outputs.
These give you that other dimension of visibility.
Exactly, a more complete picture in this new landscape.
Are there specific tools you'd recommend for tracking this, besides just manually checking prompts?
Manual checks have their place, but yeah, tools help. SparkToro can give insights into audience engagement with AI. Wix has an LLM visibility tool now. You can even build custom GPTs to audit your presence. And don't forget GA4 for referral traffic from AI platforms.
So keep an eye on where the traffic is coming from.
Regular monitoring is key. See what's working.
It always helps to see this in action. Do we have any examples of companies actually doing this well?
Yeah, a couple spring to mind. There was a retail brand. They started including verifiable stats and third-party certifications right in their product descriptions. Plus, they added a research and standards section.
Making themselves super citable.
Exactly. Highly citable with industry benchmarks. They saw like a 27% jump in AI visibility for their products in about 6 months.
Wow. Okay, so verifiable data works.
Okay.
What about that SaaS company example?
Right. They saw a traffic dip after some AI search updates. So their tactic was adding TLDR summary boxes at the start of their
It's
article.
like TLDR too long? Didn't read.
Yeah. Little concise summaries, and they used that claim stat citation format within those boxes.
Ah, smart. Making it super easy for the AI to grab the key info.
Bingo. And within about 3 months, they not only got their traffic back, but saw a 17% increase in referrals specifically from AI platforms because those summaries were being used in answers.
That really shows the power of making content AI digestible.
Mhm.
Okay, looking ahead then, how do we future-proof? What's the long game?
Well, one piece of advice from Lily Ray is crucial. Diversify your visibility. Don't just rely on Google.
Makes sense. Where else?
Think YouTube search, social media search, industry-specific search engines, maybe even emerging AI platforms relevant to your audience. SparkToro's research shows people are using multiple platforms to search. So be visible where your audience is looking.
Spread the bets. Don't put all the eggs in the Google basket.
Exactly. An omni-channel approach is safer and likely more effective long-term.
And I guess just keep reviewing. Things are changing so fast.
Absolutely critical. Set up regular reviews, maybe quarterly. Analyze your traffic sources, test your AI visibility for key terms, see what competitors are doing, update your content based on data. Constant learning and adaptation.
It's an ongoing process, not a one-time fix.
Definitely not. Stay agile.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems pretty clear. We can't really treat traditional SEO and this new GEO as separate things anymore, can we?
Nope. They have to be integrated, strategically combined. SEO builds the essential foundation, the technical health, the basic relevance.
Right.
But GEO ensures you're visible and credible within these growing AI-powered channels. The most successful organizations going forward will be the ones blending both effectively.
Leveraging the strengths of each approach.
Precisely.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful, really important deep dive for us and hopefully for everyone at Search Insights Academy listening. It leaves me thinking, considering all these shifts, what unique data sets or maybe expert insights could Search Insights Academy itself develop, to become a really highly cited authority in this space?
That's a great provocative thought to end on.
Yeah, something for all of us to consider. How can we each contribute that original citable knowledge that AI and users are increasingly looking for? Lots to think about. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.